Hola y bienvenidos. Hoy exploraremos una técnica novedosa para aprender inglés que te hará ver el aprendizaje de una forma completamente nueva. No te lo pierdas, y si disfrutas del contenido, asegúrate de darle like, suscribirte y dejarnos un comentario. Vamos allá.
Imagine you are a butterfly. Your wings are a deep blue, so bright they seem made of sky. You love to fly from flower to flower, enjoying the warmth of the sun and the sweet scent of the flowers. The world is vast and beautiful, and wherever you fly, there is always something new to discover. One day, as you rest on a soft flower, you notice something unusual. Among the shadows, you see a pair of eyes shining. They are the eyes of a snake, a stealthy and cunning snake. Its body glides silently across the ground, its tongue flicking quickly, catching scents in the air. The snake never takes its eyes off you. At first, you feel a chill of fear. You know the snake might catch you if you are not careful. But soon, your fear turns to curiosity. Why is it following me, you wonder? What does it want from me? You decide not to run away, but to confront the snake. You fly slowly towards it, your wings glistening in the sun. The snake, surprised by your bravery, stops. It watches you more closely, intrigued by your boldness. Why don't you run away, butterfly? The snake asks, its voice soft as a whisper. Aren't you afraid I'll catch you and devour you? You, floating gently in the air, reply, I'm not afraid of you, snake. But I am curious. Why do you follow me? The snake smiles, a barely perceptible grimace on its face. I follow you because I'm fascinated by your freedom, it says. I'm always tied to the ground, trapped in the dark. But you can fly as high as you want. I wonder what that freedom feels like. I wonder what it feels like to be fearless. You ponder for a moment. You know freedom is beautiful, but you also know that the snake has its own beauty, a beauty that comes from its ability to move unseen, from its ability to survive in a dangerous world. We all have something special, you say finally. I can fly, but you can glide through places I could never go. You see the world from a perspective I could never understand. The snake falls silent, pondering your words. For the first time, she feels like someone understands her. And you, butterfly, realize that the snake is not as dangerous as you thought. She is just different. So you decide to share something with the snake. If you want, I will take you with me on a flight. I will show you the world from the sky, you offer. The snake hesitates, but the temptation is too strong. She gently coils around your back, and together you soar into the sky. You fly high, so high that the snake almost forgets her fear. Together, you discover beautiful landscapes, hidden places you have never seen before. The snake sees the world from a new perspective, and you learn to appreciate the calm and wisdom of the snake. And so, the butterfly and the snake become inseparable friends. Together, they combine their strengths and discover that, although different, they complement each other perfectly. Every day is a new adventure, and together, they find true freedom, the freedom to accept others as they are. And so the story continues, soaring and gliding through the world, in an eternal dance of friendship and understanding. Moral: don't be afraid of what's different. Sometimes, what you fear most can become your greatest ally. As the butterfly and the snake travel together, they encounter new creatures and challenges. One day, they come to a valley covered in fog, where the sun barely manages to break through the thick layer of gray clouds. The air is thick and heavy, and the silence is almost deafening. The butterfly feels a chill run through her wings, but she presses on, trusting that her friend the snake is by her side. Suddenly, a deep, resonant voice breaks the silence. "Who dares enter my valley?" the voice thunders. The fog swirls, and from within it emerges a large, dark-feathered owl. His big, yellow eyes seem to see through everything, even the deepest hearts. The butterfly, boldly, steps forward. "We are travelers in search of new adventures. We mean no harm, we just want to explore this world and learn from it," he says. The owl tilts his head, intrigued. A butterfly and a snake traveling together? That's something I don't see every day. Why do you trust the snake, little butterfly? Don't you know it could devour you in an instant? The snake glides forward, his voice soft but firm. "It's true that I could, but I've learned that you don't always have to follow your baser instincts. The butterfly has shown me the value of trust and friendship. I've discovered that there is something more powerful than hunger, the connection that forms when two different beings come together in a common purpose." The owl, wise and old, nods slowly. "I see that you have learned a lesson that many never understand. True strength is not in what one can destroy, but in what one can create with others. Come, explore my valley, but be careful, here, the tests are not of strength, but of spirit." The butterfly and the snake continue on their way, entering the mist that covers the valley. There, they face challenges that test their trust and friendship. They come across a river that seems impossible to cross, with fast and dangerous currents. The snake, skilled in water, offers to carry the butterfly on its back, protecting it from the currents. Further on, they come across a large labyrinth of thorns, so intricate that it seems to have no end. The butterfly, with its ability to fly above the thorns, guides the snake from above, showing the safest way out of the labyrinth. Each challenge strengthens their bond. The butterfly learns to trust the snake's wisdom and cunning, while the snake marvels at the butterfly's lightness and broad vision. Together, they complement each other every step of the way, overcoming obstacles they could never have faced alone. Finally, as they leave the valley, the owl reappears. "You have passed the tests with flying colors. You have proven that, although different, you are stronger together. Never forget that true power lies in collaboration and mutual trust." The butterfly and the snake, grateful, continue their journey, knowing that many adventures still lie ahead. But now, with each new challenge, they face the world with the certainty that, together, they can overcome any obstacle. And so, their story continues, without end, always finding new lands, new creatures, and new challenges, but always with the certainty that, as long as they have each other, there is nothing they cannot achieve. Moral: true strength lies not in individuality, but in the ability to trust and collaborate with others. Differences do not weaken us, they make us stronger when we embrace them and use them to complement each other. The butterfly and snake's journey took them beyond the valley of mist, into an ancient forest, filled with trees so tall that their tops were lost in the clouds. The forest was shrouded in deep mystery, and its paths were twisted and confusing, as if the forest itself were alive and changing with every step. As they moved forward, they came across a clearing where the ground was covered with luminous flowers that seemed to shine with their own light. In the center of the clearing was an ancient oak tree, so wide that it would take 10 snakes to circle it. Around the trunk, there were ancient markings, etched into the bark, that told a story in a language forgotten by time. The butterfly and snake stopped, marveling at the majesty of the place. But before they could get close to the oak, a figure emerged from the shadows between the tree's roots. It was a silver stag, with antlers that seemed to be made of stars. His eyes shone with a soft, ancient light, and his voice, when he spoke, echoed like a rustle of leaves in the wind. "Welcome, travelers," said the stag, bowing his head slightly. "This forest is the keeper of the memories of those who have gone before you. Here are kept the stories of all creatures who have left their mark on the earth. But not all stories have a happy ending, and some have left wounds that still hurt." The butterfly, her heart full of curiosity, asked, "What kind of wounds, noble stag?" The stag looked up at the sky, where the branches formed a roof that barely let in any light. "Wounds of mistrust, of broken hearts, of unfulfilled promises. In this forest, the wounds of the past can become real and take form. Creatures who enter here must face their own fears and the echoes of their past decisions." The snake, who had learned to value trust and friendship, approached the deer. "We have overcome many challenges together, facing our fears and learning to trust each other. What more is there to fear?" The deer smiled sadly. "Do not underestimate the power of the past. Sometimes the most painful memories are the ones we never face. If you are willing to move forward, you must be prepared to face what this forest shows you." Determined, the butterfly and the snake continued on their way, going deeper into the heart of the forest. As they went, the atmosphere began to change. The trees seemed to whisper words they could barely understand, and the light grew dimmer, as if the day were fading into eternal gloom. Suddenly, they came to a pool of dark, calm water. On its surface were reflected images that did not belong there, scenes from a past that each of them had tried to forget. The butterfly saw the moment when, as a young and inexperienced girl, she had gotten lost in a storm, feeling for the first time the fear of loneliness. The snake saw her own reflection when, once upon a time, she had betrayed the trust of another being out of fear, thus losing a valuable friendship. They both stood still, facing those images that brought with them an old pain. But they did not turn away. They knew that to continue their journey, they had to make peace with that past that still tormented them. The butterfly, with a soft but firm voice, said, that storm taught me to be strong. It made me who I am today. I don't need to fear it anymore." The snake, looking at herself, added, "Betrayal taught me the value of loyalty. I learned not to repeat that mistake. I can forgive myself and move on." As they both spoke, the water in the pond began to glow with a soft light, and the painful images faded away. The forest, which had previously seemed dark and threatening, began to light up with a golden light. The whispers of the trees turned to soft songs, and the path before them became clear. The silver deer appeared once more, looking at them with respect. "You have faced what many cannot. By making peace with your past, you have freed the forest from its own pain. Now you can continue your journey with lighter hearts and clearer minds." The butterfly and the snake said goodbye to the deer in the forest, feeling like they had left behind a weight they had carried for a long time. They continued on their way, more united than ever, knowing that no matter what they encountered in the future, they would always be ready to face it together. And so, their story continued on, with no end in sight, full of new adventures and challenges, but also the certainty that as long as they stayed together, there was nothing they couldn't overcome. Moral: facing and accepting our past is essential to moving forward into the future. True liberation comes from making peace with our wounds, and in doing so, we become stronger and able to face any challenge life throws at us.
Y con eso terminamos. Si te gustó este vídeo, asegúrate de suscribirte al canal. Además, te invitamos a ver el siguiente vídeo que te dejamos por aquí, para seguir mejorando tu nivel de inglés a base de práctica y repetición. Nos vemos allí.